So I got all nines in my actual GCSEs, but an important part of that was actually doing really well in the mocks themselves. So I'm going to tell you straight to the point what I did to get all nines in my mocks, and this isn't going to just be the basic stuff the teachers tell you. This is going to be the real tips that will make sure you don't waste your time and you can actually be efficient about it. It's easy to say in your position with mocks coming up, oh, I can't be arsed, it's Christmas, I'll just enjoy that and I'll revise in the summer. If you leave everything till the summer, you're fucked. So straight away, the most important tip I can give you is not to waste your time making flashcards. If you're making notes on everything that's happened, especially in like a subject like history where there's so much to remember, none of it's actually going to sink in. The best way to actually process information and get it into your head is by doing the past papers, and I can't lie, it's actually really confusing the amount of people who don't go straight to just doing exam papers, because they're literally the test. They're literally what you're going to sit just from the year or a year or two earlier. In the exam, they're not asking you to write out everything you know about a single topic. They're asking you to apply certain bits of that to an actual question. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you the actual reality about why schools set mocks and why you should actually care. So you can literally waste your time learning everything that's ever happened in history, for example, but if you haven't practiced putting that into an actual answer and realizing the stuff that you actually need to know, then you're just wasting your time and you're not actually going to do that well when it comes to the exam. And that's the reason that you might have friends saying, oh, I'm revising for 7 to 8 hours. In reality, they're wasting their time. The second tip is just do interesting subjects first in your revision, because for me, if I started off with like geography, I'd lose motivation so quickly. And my favourite subject at GCSE was history, so I started off with that every single time, and it just allowed me to get into the flow of revising. If you're looking at me and saying I actually don't enjoy any of my subjects, that's fair enough, but what you can do in that case is structure your revision in the order that the exams are coming up. So if you've got English as your first mock, then revise English first, and then in the days leading up to it, all you need is 1 to 2 days to just catch up on what you've already revised. You don't want to end up having an exam in 2 days and you've got to revise everything from scratch. And again, only exam questions. And that comes on to the next point. Ignore everyone else and the sort of expectations, or pretty much lies in most cases, that they set around how much you should be revising. Those friends that are saying to you, I can't come out, I'm revising, they're actually not being efficient with their time, and most of the time in their 2 or 3 hours that you're sitting down, no distractions, revising every single morning, you're doing more than they're doing the entire day. So make a schedule for yourself that you know you'll be prepared, not on what everyone else is doing, not doing 8 hours a day for the sake of it. But if you're really good at maths, for example, and you think, okay, if I put in 3 hours for a week before every single day, I'll be prepared, then that's all you really need to do. And if you want me to have a one-on-one chat with you about how I got all nines in the mocks and in the real thing, then you can book a call in the link below. A final tip that no teacher will tell you is to prepare one A4 sheet for the night before the exam. Now, this one piece of paper should have everything that you'll look at the morning of the exam. You're not going to be rifling through stacks of notes. It's going to be all condensed into one sheet that you can look at like in the car, on the train, on the way to doing your paper. And this is my sort of secret as to how I got the best grades possible. On that sheet, you should just have the stuff that really just won't stick, the stuff you're struggling to remember. And it can really be anything. It can be a certain past question that you've done and you can't really remember the points that you were making, or it can just be a simple fact or like a rule for maths. If you fail your mocks, you're going to make your life a whole lot harder. And for me, my GCSEs were actually in COVID year, so my mocks weighed a lot into my actual final results. So you actually never know what's going to happen, and in my opinion, you should be preparing for mocks like they're your final exams. Because when it comes to actual GCSEs, firstly you'll have like 3/4 of the content already covered and you've already literally got revision notes on it, but you'll also be so much less stressed because you'll know that you're actually capable of getting the best grades and you've proved it to yourself. Now it's just a case of doing it one more time.